Hey there, Central Ohio. Thanks for joining us here on 10 TV Plus. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens alongside Jay Plyburn for another
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, another Impact Show day.
Another Impact Show.
Yeah.
Felt like winter out there this morning.
Man, it was not a warm start to the day. And I mean, we've been telling you about this. We get the clear skies out there, and you need some jackets when you start the day.
Oh, absolutely. You could wear mittens and toboggan, beanie, all the things this morning to keep yourself warm.
Yeah, we had some places out there that were down into the low 20s this morning. Felt like the teens out the door.
Wintertime temps. Like I said, this is spring. So did some parts of the state even got snow, I think, this morning?
Yeah, up near Cleveland, up to the northeast, Ashtabula, they had snow coming down this morning. But good news is, this is the coldest day of the week. So it's all uphill from here. In fact, you could see the sunshine out there earlier this morning. It was a beautiful start to the day. That sunshine going to carry us through at least part of the afternoon, but then we see things change as we work our way toward this evening. Cloud cover will pick back up as well. As of about 9 o'clock, temperatures were still running below where they were yesterday, and that'll be the case through the rest of the afternoon. Don't really expect to see warmer conditions compared to yesterday, but again, this is the coldest day of the week, so that's kind of what we're expecting. It's thanks to those northwest winds. They've brought down colder air in the last 24 hours, and that will continue to be the case through this afternoon. Winds that may occasionally gust as high as about 20 miles per hour. A little bit of a breeze this afternoon, going to keep those temperatures on the colder side. Speaking of the temperatures, high today, right around 50 degrees. That'll come in here at 3, 4 o'clock. Not really expecting to see any rain chance, but as we head past, say about 5, that's when cloud cover starts to increase across the region. We can't rule out a stray sprinkle. You know, we got about 10% chances for rain popping up late this evening. That's because, again, those clouds may produce a sprinkle or two across the region, but overall, we're expected to stay dry between now and the first half of the day on Thursday. Your main weather impact for most of the day is the sunshine, so grab sunglasses as you head out the door. It's going to be, I wouldn't call it a warm day, but a comfortable day for this time of the year, with temperatures about where they should be here in Central Ohio. If you're an allergy sufferer, good news for most of you. We're seeing low allergy conditions for the grasses and the weeds. That will stay the case for the rest of the day today. The pollen levels for trees continue to be on the rise, up to moderate levels across the region this afternoon. This pattern probably only going to get worse as we get into more of the spring weather across the region, and we're going to see that weather return here before long. Temperatures out there will go from the 50s today to near 60 tomorrow. We'll be in the 70s by Friday, and we'll stay there as we head through Saturday and Sunday. Definitely a spring-like end to the week. Keep in mind, we should be about 55 this time of the year. So today, again, a little cooler than average, but not far off the mark for where we should be. You're going to notice the difference as we head toward the weekend. The downside is that warm air this weekend is going to come with rain and the possibility for storms. In fact, we have some new information just into us in the last couple of hours that will get you filled in on here coming up in just a bit. Right now, though, we are between systems. There's the snow you were talking about, Jay, just a little bit ago, up toward Cleveland and Pittsburgh this morning. They were seeing some lake effect snow banding. We're between the systems here in Columbus, and that means, again, we're looking at the sunshine continuing into the afternoon. We will watch the cloud cover, though, start to slowly build for 5 o'clock, and then here comes the possibility for that sprinkle or two. Just can't rule it out of the forecast for this afternoon, but definitely don't cancel, don't change any of your plans. It's mostly going to be dry weather through the rest of the day today and into tonight. In fact, the cloud cover that pushes through later today will dissipate by Thursday morning, and we'll start the day off with sunshine as we head toward tomorrow, but again, doesn't last all day. Cloud cover builds as we head toward Thursday afternoon, and then we get shower activity pushing back into the region. These showers going to be a little bit more widespread than what we'll have for sprinkle chances later today. This will be about a 40% chance tomorrow, so keep some rain gear with you, especially in the evening and into the overnight. Heading into Friday morning, scattered showers still a possibility. Showers and some thunderstorms move through as we head through Friday. Good news for Friday night. We push that rain out of here, and we should be dry for any of those Friday night plans, and the temperatures late Friday going to be much warmer. When it comes to the rest of the weekend, those rain chances, they only stay gone for a small period of time. We dropped to just a 30% chance Saturday, but jumped to 80% as we head towards Sunday and 60% into Monday. This will be the more active round of storms as we head toward this weekend. I'll show you that hour by hour as well. Again, a few showers possible Saturday, but most of the rain holds off until Saturday night. That's when we get a push of moisture coming through. This will be out of here by, say, about midday Sunday. We get into this little gap in the middle, followed by a stronger line of storms pushing through late Saturday into Sunday. We've been monitoring that one for a couple of days now, and it's continued to show some characteristics of possibly being on the strong to severe side. In fact, we've got a 15% or so risk of severe weather Sunday evening into Sunday night. That's been in place across central Ohio. Now the third day that we're seeing that. And because of these signs, we've gone ahead and issued a 10 TV weather impact alert day. This is going to be for Sunday evening into early Monday. We're going to be watching that pretty carefully as we head toward the weekend when it comes to those impacts. Right now, again, we're thinking strong storms possible Sunday evening through early Monday. Still a little bit early to work on things more and less of the way of timing or specific impacts. So we do think all types of severe weather could be possible. Periods of rain and storms. Flooding could be a possibility too of some heavy rain coming through this weekend. So we're giving that heads up a little bit early here to make sure that you have a plan in place to monitor the weather as we head into Sunday. Of course, that's still 5 days away. We've got plenty of quiet weather between now and then, including this afternoon. Just a little bit cool when it comes to the temperatures, 40s and 50s out there as we head through the rest of the day today. You know, it's about on par for this time of the year. We get those temperatures up, and that's when we see the possibility of those storms moving back into the forecast.
Still sunshine today, though, despite the cold conditions this morning.
Yeah.
I'm all about the sunshine.
It makes even a cold day feel better outside because, I mean, you know, you get out of the wind, you're sitting in your car, the sun hits you. It almost feels warm outside.
Warms you up a little bit.
It does. And, of course, the warmer temperatures will be here by this weekend, just with those storms, too. And speaking of the weather and our forecasting and our ability to see those forecasts play out, we're right now starting to see the consequences of some job cuts at the National Weather Service. Many of their tools, like radar, satellite images, only show what's happening on the surface. Twice a day, the National Weather Service would also use weather balloons to fill in those data gaps. But with the federal cuts to the Weather Service, they've ended balloon launches in many locations across the nation.
And that's really crucial because what happens in the upper atmosphere has a direct feedback with what's happening at the surface. We really can't know what to expect, what's happening at the surface, without knowing and understanding what's happening aloft.
Now, most of those NWS impacts are to the west, but we'll still see those impacts here in Ohio because weather usually travels downstream west to the east into the Central Plains and eventually toward the Midwest. And I think it's been something that's been really enlightening to a lot of people seeing the impacts of these cuts because they think, you know, I've got an app on my phone, you've got us, you've got whoever else you get your weather from. But at a base level, so much of this information comes from the National Weather Service. We're talking weather models, weather radar, satellites, weather balloons. We need all of that to do our job here.
Those radar gaps make a big difference.
I was going to say, we just had a story, was it last week, 2 weeks ago, where we talked about gaps in radar. There's already, for years, really been not enough funding in the Weather Service to adequately get all the information that we would need. And these cuts are going to further impact that.
Yeah, no doubt.
So it'll be interesting to see where that goes from here. Switching gears now to the fire news, there is something new to worry about in and around the Palisades and Eaton fire zones. Experts are saying that pools that have been left abandoned in burned out neighborhoods could breed tens of millions of mosquitoes, spread disease. KCAL's Lori Perez joins us from Altadena with some options for property owners.
It's kind of too big to be a hot tub, too small to be a lap pool, but you know, it's good when it's super hot.
Betsy Kahn's dipping pool is not massive, but it could still be a massive problem, as the once clear water has now turned green and bubbly, filled with who knows what since it can't be maintained.
The machinery burnt down. There's no electricity. there's no water source to change out the water that's in it now that's full of all the toxicity that just fell in as the house was burning.
In short time, experts say pools in the fire zones have turned into natural ponds full of murky, stagnant water, perfect condition for mosquitoes to grow. They are worried about more than 1,200 swimming pools in the Eaton fire burn area alone, maybe 1,400 more nearby, also filled with ash and debris. Jason Farnett is with the San Gabriel Valley Mosquito and Vector Control District.
Well, one swimming pool can breed up to 1 million mosquitoes or grow up to 1 million mosquitoes in 1 month. So with thousands of swimming pools in that area, we think that it could be a significant increase.
Millions more mosquitoes that could spread diseases like West Nile virus or dengue.
So in 2023, we had the very first locally transmitted case of dengue fever in Pasadena, and we had more cases last year, the following year. And so we expect to see some local transmission of dengue this year. And so we're working hard to make sure that any mosquito activity as a result of the Eaton fire doesn't contribute or increase that risk.
Farnett says as part of the ongoing debris removal, property owners can arrange with the Army engineers to have their pools drained or removed altogether. In the short term, the district can treat for mosquitoes with a larvicide that usually lasts 90 days. And when the ash or debris or chemicals in the water clears a bit, a more organic solution is mosquito fish, a small species that eats mosquitoes being bred.
We can start adding fish to some of these swimming pools. And once the fish are added to the pool, and once they establish themselves, then the fish can control the mosquito population indefinitely.
And it's not just stateside where we're seeing massive wildfires this year. At least 24 people are dead and 19 others injured in wildfires as they rage through South Korea. A video shows the smoky conditions firefighters are facing this morning as multiple fires continue to burn. As of this morning, dozens of fires have burned nearly 43,000 acres of land since sparking over the weekend. Authorities have issued a dry weather alert for the areas affected in the wider southeastern regions with rain forecasted through tomorrow. Wow. And finally today, let's check out some new video into us here at 10 TV. This is a random alignment of jets from nearby forming stars, but it's nicknamed a cosmic tornado.
I see why.
Yeah, I love that name. Because of the helical appearance of the outflows that can extend for light years, create shock waves. In the view there you see there, the material heats to a higher temperature and cools, emitting visible light. That is an amazing image.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And I mean, I'm just going to sit here and hold on this and talk about it for a second, because the longer we hold here, the more cool this picture gets.
Yeah, as it gets a little closer to that tornado.
Yeah, and I mean, you never need a good reason to show a space photo, because look at it, that's the reason enough to show a space photo.
Incredible.
Absolutely beautiful. And back here on Earth, people were seen admiring a sea of pink blossoms on peach and pear trees. They were in bloom in Spain recently. The pink flowers draw thousands of people each spring. I mean, I feel like we've been seeing a new tree bloom each week, and they're all pretty, beautiful.
They're beautiful. Mess with the allergies a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you've been suffering from the tree pollen.
A few days now, yeah. I still love the look of them, though.
Yeah, I say we had it in the forecast. The tree pollen is on the rise, and, well, this is in Spain, but I mean, that's your culprit. It's doing the same thing here.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful pictures there. I'm a little more partial to the space view, but, you know, I'll take the sea of pink blossoms, too.
To each their own.
Yeah, indeed. Well, that will be the end of our 10 Weather Impact show here today, but it's not the end of our coverage throughout the rest of the day. Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz, he'll be back at 6 with details on that impact alert.